Hello, my name is Lisa. Welcome to my channel. Today is bee journal day. Yay, I'm so excited. I've got my fabric. I've got my 3 signatures that I did, which by the way still smell yummy from the Mamagami papers that I put in there that I made like 2 weeks ago. It's kind of crazy that they still smell so good. And then, yes, so I'm gonna put these aside for now and grab my item that I decided. So I found this box of cupcakes and I'm like, oh, look at that. This measures exactly 6 inches, which is the exact amount that I wanted to do. So I've got a front and back that's 6 inches. I'm gonna peel this open, I think right here. And I know this, there we go. It doesn't really matter if this rips. I'm not using this side anyway, so. Boy, they put some tough glue in this one. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is gonna be the spine, which is about what, 2 inches, an inch and, inch and 3/4. And I'm like, not too big, not too bad, because if you look at this, resting, without too much squish, it's about, yeah, even squished. So 2 3/4 is gonna leave some nice room, I think, for the journal in there. Yeah, not too shabby, so I like it. All right, so I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna, oh man, I ripped that bit. Okay, I've got a backup one. I've been hoarding these for a while and I found a second one. So, okay, we're going with the backup one that I ripped open, much easier for that. So, insert blooper reel number 1. Okay, so I'm going to cut these excess flaps off first, and then we're going to cut this 9 inches tall, because I think it's about 11. Yeah, it's about 11 inches tall. So I do need to cut a little bit off the height, but for now I'm going to cut these excess flaps off that I don't need. Now I could use my trimmer. I could use a straight blade, which I'm going to do to cut. I have an X-Acto. I'm going to do that to cut down to the 9. But for now, I'm just going to cut these flaps off with scissors. So how is your day going? Hopefully well. I spent my morning at the cable company place. I had to return some equipment, and I just happened to, we got some equipment shipped to us weirdly. I wasn't expecting it, so it was an extra box that we didn't have. So I inquired, I'm like, how many boxes do I have on my account? Because I have 3 TVs, 3 boxes, and the guy's like, you have 4. And I'm like, no, I have 3. So we had to come back home, get the serial numbers for all of them, and realize that there is 4 boxes on my account. I've only ever had 3, living in this house for 20 years. So I can only imagine how long I was charged an extra $10 for a 4th box that I never had. So yeah, so we're investigating how we're gonna get some of that money back. So my blood pressure was through the roof this morning, trying to figure this out. And of course, you know, I was mansplained how I should check my bill every month. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to get frustrated here, but I was like, seriously? Dude, do not try to explain this to me. I understand, but it said 3 cable boxes, 3 times the amount cable box, and then it said 1 TV adapter. Like, I don't think that's a cable box, it's a TV adapter. Like, an adapter is like a plug to me, not a whole box. Well, you should have known. He literally said, you should have known that that was a TV box. I'm like, I don't work for Xfinity. Oh, I just said them. Oops. I don't work for them. And he kind of looked at me and, you know, rolled his eyes, and I'm like, oh my Lord. So he gave me a number to call, finances, to hopefully get this straightened out. I'm like, oh my Lord. So that's, you know, 18 hours of my life on a phone call I'm gonna have to do. Did not feel like doing that today. Luckily, my husband does know somebody who works for the company in customer service. So he's gonna get a hold of her and see if she has an idea of what we should do, who we should call, what we can do. Because the guy's like, you know, you might get about maybe a refund of like 6 months. I'm like, 6 months? It's been 20 years that I probably have been paying this extra 10 bucks. Not happy. Not happy. So, yeah, so that was my morning / into the afternoon. So now I'm in my happy place crafting with my cupcake box. All right, so this should be, I was going to say 9 by 6, but it's not because, or 9 by 12, but it's not because I've got this division in the middle. So I've got the 6 by 9, right? Make sure, as I'm sitting, I shouldn't have been talking at the same time probably. Yes, 9. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so on previous covers I've done, I've used felt square because miraculously felt squares are 12 by 9. So they're like perfect to fit on a normal where you just fold the journal over and make it simple. But since this is got the spine, what I've decided to do is I have an extra piece of felt here. I'm going to cut this white one in half and I'm going to put it, we're going to put it on this side to cover this up, but I'm going to put it on the 2 sides here, and then I'm going to cut a strip for this to put down the center. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. When I bought the fabric, I wasn't sure what kind of, I didn't know I was going to be doing 3 signatures, didn't know what kind of cover. I just figured one of these should work because I've done it before. But luckily I got some spare felt hanging around and I could do it that way. All right, so this is just shy, I'll call it 1 3/4. So I am going to, I'm going to try to cut it with my knife here. Okay, so 1 3/4, we'll put it right there. And we're going to try to cut it with, I don't think I've ever felt with an X-Acto blade. This should be interesting. Will it work? Not really. Sort of. Okay, well I have a line to follow. So now I'm just going to come back with my scissors. And that is in a sharp, that is a sharp X-Acto blade because I just put it in before I started this project. And duly note, when you put in a brand new X-Acto blade, don't hit the top with your finger because I put a little nick in my finger. I had to wait a few minutes for that to stop before I started doing the filming because didn't want that all over the place. Okay, well that should work. Now we'll just need to trim it down. Put a little line there and just give it a chop. Give it a chop. Okay. All right, so I'll glue that in place. And we'll glue the white stuff in place. And we'll be able to ready to do the cover. Okay. I am going to use Fabri-Tac. I have used Fabri-Tac before for felt covers or fabric covers. So I'm gonna do this again. I can't see why it shouldn't work on this. Okay. Squishy, squishy. Okay. All right, so like I said, we'll end up putting the white on one side and the white on the other. Whoops. Ooh, that's a big glob. Oh, I hope this is not taking this. I had that happen once with this stuff. It took the ink off of something. And not good, so we don't want the ink to come through. Ooh, I'm telling you, you can get a contact high from this stuff. Oof. All right. Now I am putting it together because I am going to put, this is going to be the outside fabric, or outside of the cover, not the inside. So just making sure as I'm saying that this is not going to show through. Oh yeah, it's dark. Okay. I was okay with butting it together since this is the outside of the fabric. The spine is going to go this way. Now, if it was going to be the inside of the journal, I would make sure I had left a spacing between them so it wouldn't get kind of scrunchy, all jacked up together. So, and you definitely can put the felt on both sides if you wanted to be a little bit more fluffy, I guess you would call it. I am just going to put it on the outside and not on the inside. My insides are fluffy enough. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Okay, let's shut this for a moment. Whew. Might have to put a fan on. Okay. I think that's pretty good. All right, just rub this side. Make sure it's nice and pushed in. And I'm going to just trim this ever so slightly. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and sew the cover on or what I'm going to do with it. So but for now I'm going to cut this off because I am going to take the front fabric and wrap it to the inside. And then when I put the inside fabric in, I will have it just go along the edge. So I don't want to have when the fabric gets folded over, have too much of a lump on the side. So that should be good. Okay, now, all right, so for this, move this out of the way for a second. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to start with getting rid of the selvage. And we're going to tear that off. Get rid of some excess strings. All right, there we go. Okay, oops, excess string. Okay, so I'm not going to really measure. I'm just going to leave some excess and tear. Okay. I don't think all right, so we'll get that. I have enough for a second cover if I wanted to make one. Very cool. Okay. I did buy, I believe, 1/3 of a yard of the fabric of the front and the back. Let's see. Get that over there. All right. Now, do I really want to fold that much over? Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay, so we're gonna, I guess it doesn't matter if that's right side up or upside down or whatever it is. Okay, so I am going to cut away some angles on these, leaving just enough to cover it. So I don't want to cut too much away. Yeah, okay, that should leave enough. Okay, back to the spelly stuff. Okay, we're gonna estimate it comes up to about there. Estimated a bit high. Oh well, we're all good. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it tight, but it'll end up getting tighter when I get to that side, because I'll be able to pull it, make sure this side is tight, but I want it to be as really even as possible. Okay. Okay. All right, so go ahead and cut that. And oops, cut that. All righty. Okay. All right, I don't want to pull it too tight so it bows the board, but I also don't want it to be loose on the ends. So a happy middle is what we're looking for. Okay. Sticky fingers. Now I do have corners that I can put on there, metal corners. So if there's a little extra or a little missing, it'll be all okay. I think I'm gonna just cut that a little bit there, get rid of that excess. Okay. Alrighty. I probably don't have to worry about getting this corner down because I will, like I said, put the inside fabric right to the edge on this. So it'll cover any of the looseness at that point. But just get rid of the excess strings. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. One last side here. Sticky wicked. All right, so yes, nothing a little corner. Nothing a little corner won't take care of. Okay. All right, so close this up for now because I have to cut the inside. Okay. Now, okay, inside fabric. Now I am going to not necessarily rip this because I want it to have a little bit neater lines on here. So, yeah. Okay, let's cut. Let's just go ahead and cut that. I probably could use my, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go back. Okay, we're just gonna keep cutting that and pretend I really didn't do that. We are gonna take the straight edge, put that out of the way for a moment. All right, I'm gonna cut this in half so it's less wielding. To use. All right, get that. Okay, so let's make a straight line, straight as possible. Oops. I do have a rotary cutter somewhere, but you know, not sure where it's at the moment. Okay. All right, I forgot to measure how long this needs to be. So, this needs to be approximately, we'll call it 13 inches by 8.5, 13 by 8.5. All right, so we need the 13 to go this way. We'll put some marks here to follow. So we're gonna okay, there we go. That seems to be okay, working out fine. Okay, so we got 13. Measure twice, cut once, right? Okay, 13, that should work. Okay, now we gotta go this way and do 8.5. Straighter side, bar that up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. I'm gonna go to there. Okay. Okay, not the most efficient way to do it, but that could be added to the fun journal to add to it later. Okay. All All right, that works. I don't think there's really an up or down, but I kind of like it that way. Seems like it's flowing a little better. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna just glue half of this down at first and then go and glue the rest. So it kind of stays okay. Get quite the hand workout as you're squeezing that bottom. Okay, so we got a minute to make sure that it is as centered as possible. Try to rub some of it out, making it spread a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go back after this is more dried, lift up corners to make sure it's as fastened to the edge as possible. I don't want to lift it up now because it is still drying, but I'm sure I can see right here like this. I'll add a little glue to that, call it a day for that. So all right, so we're going to pull that over and add some glue to this side. And try not to go too far to the edge to start because I don't want it sticking out, because I know I can go back and add some to the edge. But once it's past it, can't take that away as easily. So. Okay. All right, look at you go. All right, so for anyone that says they really can't make a journal, it did it in real time, saw my mistakes, but it really is just a little bit of fabric and a cupcake box and a piece of felt. The reason I did felt it all is I'm kind of patting this down and let you know, is I know a lot of people will use the, what do you call it, the batting that you have to buy, but usually you have to buy like a whole roll, you know, big pieces, and then you got to cut it down to size, so you got to store that. I just found it, you know, kind of amazing that the felt squares are 9 by 12, which is the size of many, like the envelope one you could do. I've done envelope ones. The ones that I gave away for my 500 giveaway, those were all envelope ones. And actually my, the Dragonfly journal, this was from an envelope. So you can tell it was just folded in half, not a spine like this is going to have. This started out 9 by 12 envelope, piece of, actually I had a Frankenstein some pieces of felt together. I didn't go out and buy any, but that's when I realized that a full piece was 9 by 12. I think you can get them, you know, Hobby Lobby for like 50 cents or something like that, 75 cents. I got mine at Joann's. I forgot how much it was. But it was not expensive. And then I don't have to store the rest of the batting anywhere, which is nice because use the salvage to get this off. You know, I don't know. I figured I don't know how many journals I'll end up making at any given time. It's not like I'm making 50 journals a month that I need to have a ton. So, and if you decide that you don't like making them going forward and you want to use books, but you still want to try one, buying one felt square is definitely the way to go. So I'm going to get off my soapbox and the reasons why I use that. So I think I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. So I'm gonna turn the video off. I will come back when this is good and dry, and I will put the signatures in. So I'll be back in a flash. All right, I am back, and the journal cover is dried. I did go and put a line through here. I did a little off to see where the center was. Luckily, it'll be covered with one of the signatures. What I did was I created a template that is going to fit inside of here, so I can do all the signatures the same. So I'm going to put this as the top first. So what we're going to do is, and I did, oh, by the way, I did, when I cut it, I made it just a bit shorter than the frame, so I'm going to have to make sure I center it a little bit. These are definitely shorter than that, so if you can see, these are just a bit high, so I'll have to make sure I kind of center them as I do. All right, so this is about 8 3/4. I'm just going to make my life easy for the center. Just gonna put a little line across the center, and then I'm gonna go, I usually like to go about 1.5 inches down from the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna 1.5 inches, and we'll do subtract 1.5 inches. Gonna be about there. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a quick line there and make a quick line there. All right, so now this is 1 3/4. 1 3/4. So if it was 1.5 inches, it would be at 3/4, but it's a little bigger, so half is about 1 7/8 inches. That seems like about half. All right, so we're gonna put the middle one in 1 7/8 inches, and that one, I'm sorry, at 7/8, not 1 7/8, at 7/8, and now, obviously, everybody's spine is going to be a little different, so it's going to be hard to, can't really use the same measurements. All right, so the difference between the center and the side is 7/8. So we're going to divide that in half, say it's 5/8. I'm going to go 5/8 from the center. Now, one thing nice about, oh, maybe I should go half inch from the center. Well, that was a 1/2 inch. Okay. Okay, if they're just off just ever so slightly, you're probably not going to tell as much. And probably be helpful if I gotta find a smaller ruler for doing these. It just gets kind of cumbersome in the way. Okay. All right, so we're going to go there, 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 and there, and there, and there, and there. Okay, there we go. All right, so that is going to be my template. I'll have to put holes in here. And grab my book. All right, so I'm going to try to center it as best I can, top and bottom. All right, and we are gonna probably actually would be good. Throw that on there and not get a shift. There we go. Okay. So we got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, Okay. All right, I think I've got all the holes in there now. Yeah. Make sure they're just big enough to see when they go through eventually. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to pause the video for a moment and get some of this stuff out of the way and cleaned up. Okay, so we got the holes punched in there. So we're going to put that to the side, and we are going to punch the holes into the signatures. Now, while I was off camera, I did bind these up, and I did poke the holes in there already, so they are good to go on those two, so you don't have to watch me do them all 3 times. But I figured I'd do it at least once. Now, what I've also gone through is made sure that everything is lined up correctly and straight in there. So, find the center, there we go. All right, we are gonna line these up on that side and on that side, tough clip. And on that side, it's all caught in the strings. Okay, and on that side. Okay. All right, so I got all 3 bound, and now I'm gonna take my last set of top, put the top up there, measure it up, and we're gonna, all right, gonna line it up, and we're gonna put the hole right there. Make sure that came through okay, and then we're gonna put the hole right there. Make sure that comes out okay, and line it back up again. And the hole goes right there. And we're through. Okay. Make sure the holes are big enough. Okay. Pokey tool out of the way. I'm not sure I'll need that anymore, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Okay, so this is the first, make sure the words are upside down. First, that one's the middle, and this one is the back. All right, so I'm gonna start with the back journal to thread this in here. I like to start from the back, working my way forward. So, all right, I have cut the strings already. So what I did was take 3 times the spine, and that was a little short, but it'll be okay. Cut the thread to be 3 times the spine. Get that out of the way. All right, and got my needle. Nice big eye so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna start going through the middle, and remember this is the last one, so we're gonna go the back hole. Pull that through, and all right, so I'm gonna hold on to that string down there, and this is where it becomes a little more octopusy. All right, so find the hole back here. All right, and then we're gonna find the hole right there and come on out. All right, oops, don't pull the string all the way through. Okay, so I like to go all the way down on the inside and then tie in the center. So we're gonna go through that, and we're gonna go through the last hole and pull our way out. And then we are gonna go up, hold on to the center string, and we're gonna go inside, trying not to go through the, what do you call it, through the thread. and back through the hole. All right, I lost my inside thread. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna come through that one. Oops, lost my thread. And I'm gonna go back through this hole, and there we go. Okay. All right, now we're gonna snug it down, making sure there's at least one string on each side of that, and we're gonna snug it down. Okay, so it feels tight on the inside, but I'm gonna make sure it seems tight on the outside before I tie it off. All right, I'm just gonna tie 2 strings. I'm gonna leave it in case I wanted to put anything hanging from there. I can. If I don't, then I can go back and put bows on them and tie it on them. So, all right, so there is the back journal. All done. Okay, so middle journal is this one, and we'll take our 3 times the length string for it, and we're going to do it all over again. All right, so we're going to go through the center and out the center. Oops. Phew, thought I let it go. Okay. The problem with wax thread, it's a little slippery. Doesn't want to totally wrap around your finger. Okay, so I'm going to go through the bottom for this one in the middle. That is the middle one. Okay. I keep doing that, trying to do it with my left hand every single time. And I don't know why I think that's going to work when I'm right-handed. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, come up through there and go through the hole. All right, yep. Okay, now we're going to come through that one and through the center and out. Okay, all right, so now we're going to go back through the center hole. Went through the string. We don't want to do that. There we go. Okay. Back through the center hole. And then back through the spine. Okay. And out. Okay. So I have 1 string on each side. Pull it snug. Make sure. It's a little loose on that one. Okay. And we will double knot this. Okay. 2 done. Okay, and we'll get that. All right, so Time for the final one. All right, facing the right way. And final string. Okay. Okay. All right, through the hole and out the other edge. Okay. All right, so where's the hole? There's the hole. Can't quite see this one. Didn't make it big enough. Okay. It's right. There we go. It's right in a butterfly, so it's kind of dark. Or not butterfly, into the bee, so it's kind of hard to see. Okay. All right, and then we'll go straight through that side. Okay. And back out. That one. And back out that one. Okay, so final back through hole. Okay. Okay, get the string in my hand. Oops, lost the thread. Come on, one more hole, dude. You can do it. Okay, and you're out. Go on the opposite side of the string. Okay, now that one seems pretty good. Give one last snug. And one knot and two knots. Get in there, there we go. Okay. Whew. This is why it's kind of octopusy, I said, because you really got to have just a bunch of arms to try to get this to go, especially when you got more than one signature. Okay. Whew. All right, well, that one's a little higher than it should be, but it is okay. I can live with that. Probably just wiggle it a little bit and it'll be fine. Yeah, I think it's just the paper that's landing in the right spot, but that paper was taller, so not too bad for leaving some room to be able to add some stuff to it, so that should be good. Yeah, okay. Definitely going to be fun to entertain or decorate. It will be entertaining to decorate this. I can't wait. So, but I will leave that to another video because this one has been definitely long enough. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Okay. One final thing is I did choose corners, and I was hoping maybe you could give a vote in the comments which one you think might look best. So I've got, they're both, I picked these because they kind of look like honeycomb shaped. I thought that was kind of cool for the bees. I thought that was very appropriate for them. So I have two versions. I bring them up to make sure you can see them in the camera. They're very close in color, so probably gonna be hard to tell, but first one is more of a gold. You can see it's shinier, bright gold. And then this one, you can see it's a little duller. It's more of one of those brassy bronze rubbed gold. So yeah, so if you like the shinier gold, leave a comment. You think it should be the brighter gold or the more antique-y gold for it. And I will attach them beginning of the next video when I start pulling the ephemera and everything to start decorating the book. So very excited. Well, thanks so much for joining me for this video, and I hope you did learn something, some things to do, some things not to do. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and like to see how this ends up getting decorated, please subscribe. Hit the like button, the thumbs up if you like the video. And boy, I really can't wait to decorate. This one's going to be fun to do. So I am looking forward to this. And hopefully you are too. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by. And as usual, have a wonderful and creative night. Bye now.